I also just wanted to say this is that I feel like we're at least trying to initiate a new era of no jumper content in which we have maybe a little bit more solidarity between the team and a little bit less
I agree.
petty drama. This has been something that's been discussed at length, whatever. I just feel like at a certain point, it's just we got to start moving better as a unit. And there's just been a little bit too much like, oh, let's start to make some content. And I think we got to just kind of like really keep it out in the air.
And
that we're kind of expecting something a little bit
and
different.
And I can honestly
forward.
say I'm part of the blame too. Unintentionally, you feel me? But just even having these type of conversations off camera and shit like that shit ain't for the world and shit. So I could say where I played my part in that shit. You know what I mean? Especially this week, this shit got a little out of hand. And I see now like, all right, there's too many fires and there's too many coincidences, with the shit that's happening right now.
Is it you or is it just the fact that it's happening on your platform?
It's not. I just feel like...
Because I feel like you're the opposite of that.
No, I feel like I'm the opposite too. But, if something happens at No Jumper, that's on Adam regardless. You got to own that. So if something happens on Community Clips, I'm going to take full responsibility for it. It don't matter who fuck said something, whatever it is. Like, I can sit there and I can own that shit. You know what I mean? My intentions are always pure. But, you feel me? I just feel like sometimes when people are under this roof, they're like, okay, this is work. And then when they go somewhere else, they're like, all right, I'm having fun and I'm speaking freely or I'm sipping something or I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And then people's truths come out, how they really fucking feel. And then it just comes across as messy and shit.
I'm just like being more direct with people. Like when the whole little Blasey thing happened, which to his credit, it was like a 1-minute conversation, and I understand how he didn't think that he was going to be taken as if he was being super literal or whatever, but that would be an example of the kind of thing that I just think we should probably keep out of bounds. It's like having conversations about who gets paid what or whatever, even if it's in jest or joke, and it's like, whatever, bro. Like, that just doesn't need to happen.
That's just lame.
And Blasey got it right away when I said it. I said it to Flacco the other day where I'm like, look, I know you're going to do whatever the fuck you're going to do on live stream and shit, but you making videos about Pot Lord and all this kind of shit, it just doesn't need to happen. It's not. And the main reason why is like, it's almost like a reality check. Like, bro, this is not going to do anything good for you. This is just not going to blow you up. Everybody who wants to hear a conversation about Pot Lord and Blasey already knows who Poetic Flacco is. And it's like the same reason why I've had this conversation with Vlad and Academics is that we have nothing to gain from beefing with each other.
Right.
Because everybody who knows about Academics or knows about Vlad probably knows about me. 90% of our fan bases know about each other. So it's like we're just not going to grow through having, confrontations with each other or whatever, so it's better for us to just stay on the same page. Whereas, okay, Academics beefing with Lil Baby is probably good for him. He gets to make some content. People are excited. They're talking about him. I get that. Talking about people, in Flacco's case, who are like have less followers than you is not doing anything for you besides just, it gives you something to talk about, but like, where's the growth in that?
Plus, it fucks up the vibe.
It does.
Yeah,
It
right.
makes it really awkward.
And Flacco's fucking delusional. Like, I see a fucking David Russell thing says AD drives a $350,000 car.
I was thinking,
he
I'm
has
like,
a $10 million contract. I'm like, no, nigga, I'm doing very well for myself.
350,000. I'm like, that is like a fucking Lamborghini.
That's way off. But no, like,
It's only 325.
I don't know anything about how much a Lamborghini costs. For the record, there's probably some
I drive
car dealers out there.
a very, very nice car, but it's not no 350,000. But I think the shit started with you, Adam. And
Which
let me
one?
tell you why.
Ooh.
You said you made $1 million a month with No Jumper. After that,
I'll never be allowed to forget about this.
Yes. So after that, I feel like all the hosts was like, hold on, they're trying to crunch the numbers. They do. Me personally, and I had a conversation with Adam about this shit too, is that anytime somebody tells me about my money that I get paid here and shit like that, I've always said I get paid well. Even when I'm talking to Academics for 5 hours and he's like, hey, you ain't getting 250? You not getting 300? Oh, you ain't getting, I'm like, I'm not going to say nothing because at the end of the day, you my homeboy. I don't want to make you look bad in any type of situation, or there ain't no conversation that we need to be having outside of the team. But when it comes down to everything else, bro, like the only person that I've ever disclosed how much I made was to house phone one time. And that was only to get the battery in his back. Because I was like, bro, I'm over here making this. And he like, wait, you making that? All right, let me get my show now and let me do that. So it was more of a motivation for him because right after that, he pressed the issue on getting disconnected and wanted to be on camera more and do more shit.
But then, like, the thing is that if Blasey if Blasey was getting rejected on trying to talk about money from me or Josh, then I would understand him saying some slick shit on a podcast or whatever. But that's not the case. Like, we just haven't had that conversation. I'm totally willing to have that conversation with anybody about their compensation. And it's just like, I don't know. It's just like that's like a fake narrative. And now I got to read that in my fucking Twitch chat or whatever. And it's like, it's not a big thing, like the amount of shit that I'm getting about it. But it's just like, this is just an example of stuff that we don't really need to be doing. Like, I was thinking, I used the TDE example for you. What would TDE do in any given situation? If rewind the tape a couple years ago, Kendrick's still at TDE. If somebody asked Kendrick, how's J-Rock? And him and J-Rock were just fucking fighting in the studio the night before or whatever. Who knows? Maybe I'm sure that there's been behind the scenes drama. I assume Kendrick's still just gonna say, "That's my brother. I love him."
Of course,
right? Like, you just don't. We don't need to be putting the drama shit out there. And if you can't think of anything to talk about to get views without talking about the drama shit, then you need to really check yourself, because that's just not energy that I'm looking for people to be bringing on this shit.
And that's what me and Lush, before we even got on here, was talking about. Because I know, like, with me personally, and Lush, I can say Lush the same for Lush, I'd fuck with everybody here.
Right.
You feel me? If I dislike you, you're not going to have to you're not going to have to figure it out. I'm going to let you know, you feel me? And that's what it's going to be. And whatever comes from that, that's what comes from that. But whenever I have a dispute with Adam, I get mad at Adam and I call Adam, because this is my homeboy. Anybody that I fuck with, I can call you. And if we can't handle it the right way, then we can handle it a different way. You know what I'm saying?
And on top of that, a lot of people are letting the fans perpetuate the negativity. And and maybe because I was involved in the battle rap community for so long and have been in the public eye and dealt with online communities that were like really ravenous when it comes to content and all that, I kind of know how to navigate that a little bit. So if somebody says like, yo, AD was talking shit about you, or even post a clip where AD says something that could potentially be taken out of context, I'm not going to allow it to make me upset and then go off on him publicly. You know what I mean? If anything, I would address it with him off cam, or I would look at the full clip and be like, oh shit, he really ain't even say all that, you know?
And that's kind of like the Flacco situation.
I wasn't even going to say it. But
Wait, he squashed it with you earlier?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
What was he mad at? Just the stinky comments?
No, it wasn't even just a stinky comment. He said that he felt like Lush has other motives, like he's really this Dr. Evil looking villain. He's here to destroy. I don't know.
Destroy No Jumper?
I don't know.
No.
Wow.
I think that he felt like I was maliciously attacking him and trying to tear him down. And somebody in his Discord had sent him a clip of me saying some shit, and he was like, damn, and it, you know, made him feel some type of way. But then when he's like, this morning, I guess he finally watched the entire clip, because I tried to reach out to him and smooth it over, and like he was kind of like not responding. And then
he literally was running from you.
Yeah. And then at a certain point, I'm like, you know what? Like, I did my part. I don't want to have this negativity with him, because Flacco's easy to make fun of, and he truly did stank when I said that he stank. You feel me? Like, I was good. And I'm glad that we squashed this.
Lush stands on his shit.
Y'all know what the plan was. I was literally going to give him 50 different fucking sticks of deodorant, some Irish Spring.
And I'm Joe Biden. I was about to fund Ukraine. I was gonna cut the check for the deodorant.
Yeah, you feel
I told
me?
him I would just use them for the next couple of years.
Like, and I'm glad it didn't come to that point, because he wound up hitting me this morning and was like, look, I saw something on my Discord. Somebody sent me a clip, and then I wound up watching the entire clip, and it wasn't malicious. Because the reality is, I've always publicly spoke on how valuable Flacco is. I feel like he's one of the most important people over here. His contributions, the fact that he has like a divisive nature with what he says, it makes for great conversations on a podcast.
He gets the news and is up on the news, especially
100.
the drama shit, more than pretty much anybody, right?
Yeah.
100%. And I respect him too, because even today, he's like, yeah, I'm learning how to make my own thumbnails, and I'm trying to, focus on making better thumbs for Photoshop and stuff too. So he really takes his job very serious and his craft, and he keep doing what he doing. aside from the messy shit, he gonna continue to be great.
I'm just very concerned with like elevating the conversation and the discourse and stuff. And like, for instance, this morning we had a nice, long, healthy debate about affirmative action. And I
Yeah.
thought it was a very interesting conversation. It's the kind of thing that if we get into it on the podcast will probably be good. And I just think that's like such a better use of our time to be having conversations about sort of high-minded shit. Or, you know, we could be talking about messy-ass rap shit. I have nothing against that either. But it's just like what I don't think is really a good use of our time is just talking about this dumbass insular shit. And it's like other people, I've been telling them that in the chat too. Like, I just think a lot of people have a lot more potential than just talking about this boring ass drama
We
shit.
just need more camaraderie. You know what I'm saying? Even like the Christmas event last year, I felt like that brought everybody together more. It need to be more activities that motherfuckers do with each other and shit like that. Because if we just looking at this shit like, oh, that's just somebody I work with, you're never going to have the respect to say something nice or whatever. You're going to speak your mind when you're at home or you're on your own platform and shit like that.
All right, people, we just hit 300,000 subscribers. You know we're trying to hit 400,000 subscribers. So that little red button, tap it, tap in. Appreciate y'all.